What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm doing really good. Thanks for asking. Let's do a little CSS Grid today. I'm going to keep this one really short, simple, and sweet. We're going to do you guessed it, a CSS Grid gallery. You're very smart. So I've got a HTML template here. It's nothing complicated. I've got one div, and you can type this out yourself. I'm sure you're capable. It's a div with a class of container. Inside the div, inside the container, we've got a div with a class of main image, and it has just one image in it. And since we are not in the real world and coding for money, I just took out the alt tag. We don't need that for this project. And then outside of the main image div, I created a second div with just a class of images, and I put 8 images in there. I got those from Pexels. You can get that from Pexels. I typed in code in the search and just grabbed some of these pictures on here, and I copied the URL up here. I could have downloaded them and put them in my files, but I decided not to. We're just going to do it this way. So as you can see, we've got just simple HTML, nothing special. And yes, I do realize that last image is the same as the first two. I thought I would do that just to bother you guys. So be nice in the comments. I did it on purpose. Just deal with it. Let's save that. So I've got a style sheet. Obviously, I'm referencing a folder and the style.css file inside. And there's my project with my CSS folder and this style sheet inside of that. Let's start off with a little CSS. I will be adding JavaScript to this later to add a little bit of functionality to it, make it fun to actually use, but right now it's just going to look pretty and it's going to be fun just to look at. So I'm going to focus on the CSS on this one. Since the HTML is so simple, I feel like I just said a lot of S's and now my tongue's like just anticipating to say the next S. Okay, body. Let's give it a background of something. Let's do 4 2s. Not 4 2s, but 4 2 4 2 4 2. You got it. Let's do padding of 0 and a margin of 20 pixels. Let's save it. Let's refresh it, and bam, we're done. It's pretty. Good to go. Don't worry about those pictures being off. It's not going to matter. So we're not really done. I hope you didn't turn off the video just yet, because I was just kidding. Let's reference our container class. Right here we got this div with the container. I said that already. So let's move right along. What do we want to do with this? Let's do a max width of 700 and 800, I said, pixels. Right? Let's give it a border of 3 pixels. Let's make it solid white. Let's give it a background of white. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Refresh it. Oh, it looks atrocious. Okay, cool. So next, we created inside of our HTML, we have a div with the class main image, and as I'm sure you've already guessed that is our main image. But wait, there's more. There's another div with a class of images, and it's plural, so there's more than one image. So anyway, we're going to reference both of those. Class of main image, and we're going to reference the image tag inside of that class, and slow down guys, images and the image. And what are we going to do? Width of 100%. That's just going to tidy up. We'll save this and refresh this. That's going to bring it all together. It looks wonderful. Very nice. Now, this is a tutorial or maybe a code along or maybe just a waste of your time, I'm not sure, about CSS Grid. So let's get into that. This is just some normal little styling, but the magic happens when I type this code. Are you ready? Image. Display. Display. Grid. Save. Refresh. Absolutely nothing changed. It's wonderful because I did it on purpose. I didn't I'll show you. Just wait, I'll show you. Let's add a little gap. 5 pixels. Grip gap? What? No, we're not doing CSS grip. We're doing CSS grid. Get it together, Dan. Okay. I'll show you right here. We're going to do grid template items. I promise you I can type. I am a big boy. Okay. Columns. We are going to make this mobile responsive. So I will be removing this here in just a minute, but I wanted to show you on this screen size, like on a desktop, let's make these images starting on this one and down, make them 4 columns. So we do that by typing grid template columns. It's telling it to display them in columns, and we're going to do one fraction, one fraction, one fraction, one fraction, and that's it. And then we save that, and nothing happened because I'm referencing IMG instead of M and GS. There we go. Boom. Look. It's nice. Okay, maybe now you can start worrying about those images that aren't the right size. Those are kind of ugly, actually. Do I waste my time with changing them? No, I'm not going to. Though I should, but I won't. Should I? No. Yes? No. Moving on. So, okay, this looks great other than these ridiculously sized images. Not that, this. However, if we start making the screen smaller, what are you doing back there? Get out of there. And start making it small. What are you doing? Get out of there. What are you interrupting my video? And you. Go away. Sorry about that. Before I was rudely interrupted by open windows in the background. It looks good and it doesn't look good. I mean, it's not bad, but you can't see the little images down here. Let's change that. Mobile. Whoa, did that just freak me out a little bit? I thought it was coming at me. Come at me, bro. Sorry. Let's do media query. We're going to reference or look at the screen and min width of, that was a drum roll, 500 pixels. And this. I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to put it down here. Images. I've already defined display grid on them, so I don't have to do that again. I've already given them the grid gap, so I don't need to do that again. But here, we will poorly paste this code. There we go, better. So real quick, I just want to reference this. And this isn't what we're going to end up doing because, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Slow down. Min width, that's saying the screen size, anything greater than, larger than 500 pixels, show this styling. So right now, if it's greater than 500 pixels, we have it showing 4 columns, which is fine. If we were to save it and minimize this, it lines up nicely, stacked all on top of each other. So that would be great for a mobile device. However, let me do this for you. Go to Chrome, Developer Tools, and then up here, it just went away. When I expand the window, you can see the size of the window right there. So at about exactly 500 pixels, because that's what I said right here, it puts the grid layout into 4 columns, and it's a little small for it to be in 4 columns just yet. So let's make it, I mean, this is fine. This is all fine. It looks good. But at 500 pixels, let's make it maybe 2 columns. Let's do that. And we're going to remove this retarded code. And we're going to do, instead of one fraction 4 times, we can use repeat. I guess it's a function. And we can say 2 because we want 2 columns. And I'm sorry if you hear my baby crying. She's fine, I promise. If we refresh or save that and we refresh this, now we've got 2 columns. So now it's getting a little better. So let me leave that open. So when we're small, it looks good stacked on top of each other. When we get at 500 pixels, it bumps it into 2 columns, and that looks pretty good. However, when we get up here, it's not horrible. Let me do this real quick. On the container, let me do margin auto spell. There we go. Center that. That way it's in the center. So look, it didn't look that bad, but we got a nice little breakpoint right there. Bam. 2 columns. Now let's say about 6. Let's just do 700. That's good. So let's do another breakpoint. Media. Look at the screen and minimum width of 7. What a type of 1? That was weird. At 700 pox. $100 to anyone that can tell me what size 700 pox is on a web page. But for now, we're going to stick with pixels. And then we're going to reference the images again. And we're going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just going to copy this. And what did I say? 4. So we're going to do 4 columns now. Save this. Refresh that. And then boom. Look at that. Nice. So this is saying anything over or greater than 700 pixels. So that would be, well, it's min width. So it includes 700 pixels. Do you guys just hear that dog bark? I wonder if someone's in trouble. I think we're okay. Okay, so anything over 700 pixels is going to display this styling. So, as you can see up here, when I resize the window, we're over 700, so it's showing 4 columns, and then 2 columns because it's greater than 500 pixels. And as soon as we hit 499, it stacks into one beautiful little column. That's really all we're going to get into today. I just thought I would throw this out here real quick. It's a really cool little layout, and thought I would pass it on. We'll get into some JavaScript to make it more feature friendly to do stuff when we click on it and hover over it and all that cool stuff. And I will probably resize the images or grab new images off camera, so you all don't have to watch that tedious painstaking process. But there we go. Right there. We've got a mobile responsive or mobile first CSS Grid layout. Thanks for coming to, what is going on? Thanks for coming to hang out today, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out. Press start.